Welcome to another episode of Irtiza vs. Mustafa Sports Talk. Today we're going to be discussing about the new NHL format and if we like it better or do we prefer the old format better. The new format with the all Canadian matchups and the different divisions is set up due to the COVID pandemic. So we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, in the beginning when this started, I was stoked to see these Canadian matchups. You look forward to it every Saturday night. Hockey night in Canada, I always look forward to these Canadian matchups. Now they happen so often, so it's great. But I feel like for me personally, you know, the I felt more excited in the beginning of the season as opposed to now. Like I said, I used to look forward to these every Saturday night, but now they happen so often. I feel like it's taken something special away from me. In the beginning, like I said, I was stoked. You get to see these matchups so often, so excited, seeing the Battle of Alberta, seeing the Battle of Ontario a lot more often than you would regularly. But I feel like it took something away from me. It took that special moment away from me where I look forward to the Battle of Ontario or the Battle of Ottawa or other Canadian matchups in Hockey Night in Canada. They used to just happen like once a week instead of like every other game is a Canadian matchup and they're having series. So I was excited in the beginning, but not so much anymore. Let me know what you think.
I think there's a good and bad side of the new matchups that they have going. One great side of it is that they're a series, so it's kind of like a small playoff series each time they play. Sometimes they play the same team 3 times or 2 times, so it turns out to be like a series. You got to really beat the team, and I guess the negative aspect of it is what you're talking about, is that when you look forward each week to Saturday night, Hockey Night in Canada, that matchup, it's not there anymore because they're playing each other so often. So I guess that's the bad aspect of it, and we just gotta wait and see how the ratings are, see how everything goes. And yeah, my brother has some stats from the beginning of the season to see like if the ratings were up or were they actually down with this new format.
Well, I mean, just looking at the stats from NHL.com here, and I guess most of Canada and America agrees. Here's some stats. Hockey Night in Canada debuted with a doubleheader with Leafs versus Senators and Montreal Canadiens versus Edmonton Oilers, and the viewership was up 13% more than last season's average audience. The opening night, Leafs versus Oilers, and the first two Wednesday night games were viewed by 1.4 million viewers on Sportsnet, up 54% from last season. And if you look at even the American audience, the first game on NBC, Penguins versus Capitals on noon on a Sunday, that was also viewed by 1.7 million Americans, 42% more than the first game on NBC last season. So I guess, and another fun fact, like that was the most viewed game. The Penguins versus Capitals game was the most watched regular season game, non-outdoor game on NBC for almost 3 years. So I guess most of Canada and America agrees, like they like this version of hockey better. I guess you're right. They get to see series, they get to see more competitive matchups, and that's what they enjoy.
Yeah, but one thing is that I don't think it's as competitive as it was in the previous years, because like Toronto Maple Leafs are at the top of their division and Edmonton Oilers with the Edmonton Oilers, but they don't have to play like Tampa Bay or Boston, which they normally have to play because they're in the same division and the same conference. And those have been the top two teams over like the past 3-4 years. It's always been Tampa and Boston and Toronto near the top. So that's the only thing I miss. Those competitive matchups that they used to have back and forth. Now we know the terrible history Toronto has with Boston in the playoffs. But we haven't got to see any matchup throughout the season to see if Toronto can maybe take over Boston if they ever meet up in the playoffs this year. We can't see it until if they meet up in the playoffs. So we got to see it and just wait, see what happens. But that's the one thing I really, really miss about this new format.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I enjoy, like I said, I enjoyed these matchups in the beginning, but now they're happening too often. There's nothing I feel like to look forward to. Yes, they are competitive. Yes, they are series. But like you said, I do want to see them play Tampa. I do want to see them play Boston. And like I want to see like if they can hold their own, because if they do meet up in the playoffs, as you said, the history of the Leafs isn't the best against the Bruins. So you don't get to see that, and hopefully we do get to see that soon in the playoffs. But as for now, we're seeing the same matchups, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how fair it is, because they're gonna make the playoffs in a higher position possibly than they've made before, and this could just be due to the fact that they're playing these Canadian teams so often, and I feel like it's not as competitive as it could be.
Well, I guess, yeah, there's pros and cons to everything, but according to the viewership, most people like the new format better, Americans and Canadians. So I guess it's working for the NHL. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to keep this after the COVID pandemic ends because the viewership is up. Maybe they might keep the same format or a similar format. But we're just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully, the Toronto Maple Leafs can pull it off this year and win the Stanley Cup, and the COVID pandemic is done so we can all celebrate together. Yeah, so we'd like to just end this discussion here, and please like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends and family so we can please get this channel growing more. Follow us at Instagram at Hussein Bros 23 and our YouTube channel at Hussein Bros. And I hope you guys enjoyed.
Also, please take care of yourselves, stay home, stay safe, and this is, like always, has been Sports Talk from two Canucks up north, eh?